The ACLU of Illinois has released a statement on the Adam Toledo police shooting.
Yeah, they say in part here, quote, the release of the body camera footage and other materials cannot obscure one central fact. A 13-year-old boy was shot and killed by those sworn to protect and serve our community. Let's bring in right now ACLU Illinois Legal Director Nusrat Choudhury. Thank you for coming on this morning.
Thank you for having me.
So you, like so many people, watched that video. It's very hard to watch. What was your reaction, immediately when you watched it?
It was so painful to watch, so painful, because as we've said, the one central fact is that a teenager was shot in the chest with his hands raised. And just seeing that moment when an officer sworn to protect communities in this city shoots a child is extraordinarily difficult. And it's causing pain through so many communities. Obviously, Adam Toledo's family is mourning and grieving the loss of their son. And other communities of color, Black and Latinx people throughout this city, don't feel that they are going to be protected. They don't feel that they have protection from their police because they see videos like this. And it evokes experiences in their lives. And that is true pain that so many people in the city are facing right now.
I don't think anybody would deny most of what you said. This is absolutely a tragedy. You know, my late father-in-law was a homicide detective, and he would tell me, give me 3 eyewitnesses to a crime scene. You're going to get 3 different accounts. And the reason is we all view the world through our own lens. Isn't it possible that we are looking through a lens that is skewed by the deaths of George Floyd and Breonna Taylor and Daunte Wright, and that this case, the exigent circumstances, just don't quite add up?
I don't think we have enough information to come even close to drawing that conclusion. What needs to happen here is a complete, comprehensive, and transparent investigation. And I want to underscore transparent, because we've already seen efforts by COPA to resist releasing this video. We've already seen inconsistent statements from the prosecutor's office about what this video does and does not show. And I think what this underscores for me, for others in the city of Chicago, for communities of color, particularly Black and Latinx people, is we need to know what happened. We need to know a full investigation before drawing conclusions. And anyone who's drawing conclusions right now is racing to judgment at a time when what we need to do is sit down and think about the fact that a 13-year-old child was shot to death in the city of Chicago, a city with a history of police violence against communities of color that would bring any city to shame.
What do you think at this point, from your perspective, what does the ACLU feel should be the next step? I mean, do you think that the city should be, reviewing some more of their policies? I mean, because it looks like they took a lot of recommendations, and I know we've talked about this before with these recommendations that they've been a little slow to move towards them. What do you think the next step is for the city when it comes to this issue?
Tragically, a little slow is a dramatic understatement, because as we've discussed before, the lack of a foot pursuit policy here in Chicago was identified by the U.S. Department of Justice as a central cause of a pattern of excessive force against communities of color in this city more than 4 years ago. In 2017, 2018, the Department of Justice made that clear. And the lack of a foot pursuit policy is just one of many reforms in which the city of Chicago is lagging in compliance with the federally mandated consent decree. And there are communities of color that are ready to engage in that process, and the city needs to do that, and it isn't doing that right now. It is not responding to requests from community organizations that are involved in enforcing a consent decree that is meant to curb excessive force, including deadly force, against people of color in this city. And policies just can't be revised on the side quickly to address a horrific tragedy like this. There needs to be face-to-face engagement with the people who are most impacted. And some of those groups have been trying to contact the city.
Let me jump in. I hate to cut you up, but we got less than a minute. And I want to point out something that the family attorney said yesterday. She said, we need a forensic expert to examine the video to determine whether or not, yes, it was in fact a gun that was behind him. If that holds to be true, if an expert, outside expert, determines that Adam Toledo had a gun, does this change the narrative for you personally?
I don't think this is about a narrative. I think this is about a reality of a pattern of police violence against people of color in this city. That is what is happening here. And I think what's happening in this specific case is something that deserves a lot of investigation. I think forensic experts are just one part of it. And I think that that comprehensive investigation is what we are all watching for, because we all have questions about why a police officer shot in the chest a child with his hands raised.
What do you say to the people who are watching right now? And because I've seen it on my Facebook page and other people are talking about it. People are screaming at the television right now and they're saying, he was out at 2:30 in the morning. Nobody wants to blame the mother. Everybody feels horrible for the mother, but at the same time, nothing good usually comes at 2:30 in the morning, especially for a 13-year-old. What are your thoughts? What do you say to them when they say that?
I don't think we can boil down the officer shooting Adam Toledo to one fact, that Adam Toledo shouldn't have been out at 2:30 in the morning. You know, white communities have children who are out at 2:30 in the morning too. And this is not, they don't get the same response. So I think we need to all take a step back and really look at the fact that we need all of the facts. We need the entire context. And that is why we have a civilian oversight authority that is supposed to conduct comprehensive investigations. And people should not rush to judgment in this point.
Nusrat Choudhury is the legal director for the ACLU Illinois and a repeated guest here on Good Day Chicago. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.